First of all, we can understand the problem. The problem is the social conditioning combined with genetic predisposition. Right? Girls are softer. Moms nurture. Knowing the girls are softer, the mom nurtures the girl more, creates another girl. And then you combine with that. You combine with that nature-nurture propaganda, indoctrination, and you create a fucking monster with 1, 2, 3, up to 6 classic personality disorders in various combinations of strength. It is scary to sit down and deal with one of these triggered little bitches. My son makes a game of it, my younger son. He loves to trigger fucking girls. He comes home and I go, look, I can't take any more stories. Don't tell me how you triggered your fucking teachers or triggered this girl or that or played game. You know, he fucking kills me. You know, he loves to trigger him. He loves to watch him go off. He is now conditioned to not give a shit. He doesn't care. He's teaching them that go ahead and be triggered. You don't get what you want for it. Go ahead and trigger. It makes me laugh at you. You're fucking stupid. That's the game he plays. He's already training him. I'm going to fuck with you, and if you don't like it, too fucking bad. And he's not the only one. I know other young men now are growing up with these little triggered monsters. These gold-digging whores in waiting. They're just waiting for their chance to get out there and start their skills. And only young men will be able to avoid them. All the young simps and little white knights out there, all the young betas, they're going to get run over just like the older ones did. You know, you can't do anything with them. All you can do, really, is just not give a fuck anymore. And they will scream more and scream louder. And they don't learn because those formative years of the mind, those early formative years, ages 1 through 5, is where they were taught most and best that screaming gives what they want. And they combine that with their education, which is actually indoctrination. So what's the problem? The problem is men don't care. But that's not my problem, and that's not your problem. That problem's for the bitches. That problem's for the feminists. They need to learn, and they cannot, because they haven't been taught how to think. One of the great tragedies of our educational system is it doesn't teach people to think. It only teaches people to repeat what they've been taught, to repeat what they've been told, to repeat what is in the book. That's not education. That is indoctrination. Repetitive, blah. Repetitive rumination of bilge. That's what their heads are full of. These little bitches' heads are full of bilge. Ooh, wow. That is a fine scotch. So no one over at the Glenlivet is giving me any credit or anything free, but the Founder's Reserve Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. That is a classic. Classic. Unlike Glenfiddich, it's kind of light on the peaty, but you know, it reminds me a lot of the Balvenie, one of their more aged varieties. I also bought a bottle of Glenfiddich 15 and Glenfiddich 18-year-old Scotch, and can't wait to get into those in this holiday season. So the problem with men not caring is that it's going to cause these little raging whores to scream and cry louder And they're going to scream and cry and run even faster to those that in the past have responded favorably to the way they want to behave. I want that well understood. When we ignore them, the problem with not giving a shit about them is that they'll run back to those that have given them the attention they want, that have given them the entitlements and the privileges they want, and demand even more. And that's why I believe we cannot just ignore these bitches. You can't just ignore them, because they'll go to where they're not ignored. Now mind you, I don't want to fucking hear them all night. Listen. Yeah, you hear it? No screaming cunts. No whining, no bitching, no nagging. It's like heaven. It's heavenly. But somewhere right now, somewhere out there, some poor fucking sap is listening to some fucking bitch grind in his ear like a fucking chainsaw with the throttle stuck wide open, screaming and yelling at him to make her happy and give her what she wants. And the poor dumb son of a bitch is going to give it to her to get her to shut up. But men don't care. Men don't care. I really think that a good domestic spanking protocol needs to be reinstituted. I think that a woman, that if she was raised improperly and raised to complain a lot, once she got a man, if she signed a contract and agreed that she wanted the man and would therefore submit to corporal punishment anytime the man felt it was a good idea, I think that'd be a swell fucking idea. Every time she bitched, nagged, spank, spank, spank over the knee. Anytime she complained, spank, 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 until her little ass was bright red. Every single time. I think that's probably the only way they can learn. That's probably the only way they'll get it, is if every time they do something they're not supposed to, they're punished instead of rewarded. So kind of the problem with men don't care is that that's not enough. I think that us men have to care, and that we have to provide a remedy to the situation women find themselves in. I think they need a remedy. Not caring is a good one. The next step is telling them no. The next step is explaining to them why, and of course they don't get it after all this, and the next step is to turn them over your knee, much like John Wayne. John Wayne even spanked women in his fucking movies. That is a man's man. Here's to you, John Wayne. I know you're in heaven having a scotch with the big guy. Yes, sir. That is a good fucking scotch. It's got some great caramel and vanilla notes in it. Characteristics. It's got a smooth front of the mouth all the way through the back and down the neck. Just what a great fucking scotch. Yes, sir. Peace and quiet and a scotch. The problem with men don't care. Please click subscribe. Please hit that little bell next to it so you get updates or alerts when I do new videos. Click thumbs up. Thumbs up if you appreciate my videos. Thumbs up them all. Because the more thumbs up is, the more of our Mgtow videos out there get out. And also, please hit that share button. Share, because there's men out there, believe it or not, who are in their 60s, who are just now feeling the bite and want to get into Mgtow. Men in their 50s and their 40s who had no idea there was an alternative way to think about these fucking screaming harlots. There's men in their 30s and their 20s who have already had enough of the screeching harpies with brass bras and push-up tits. They fucking had it with them already. it runs the gamut, and young men especially. Men in their teens and their early 20s, they need to start off the bat realizing that Mgtow is an option, that you don't have to do what little screaming bitches want. Alright, I think I've had enough fun with this, and I'm going to finish this scotch on my own time. For now, you guys have a great time. Semper Fi. I have the penis. This is John, host of Mgtow is Freedom. Have a good night.